Welcome to the Smiles Ahead podcast, powered by Burrow Welchel Culp Orthodontics, where we answer your dental and orthodontic questions so you can be better prepared when you come into the office. I'm Dr. Sam Burrow, teacher, author, and award-winning board-certified orthodontist, here to answer some of your frequently asked questions. Welcome to another episode of the Smiles Ahead podcast, where today we're going to talk about the commonly asked question of toothbrush, toothpaste, mouthwash. And the most important question, does it really whiten your teeth? And which ones do we recommend? All that good stuff. So like I do in all these, I'll give you the 1 minute synopsis. So if you just want a quick in and out, this is our opinion. We'll get it done in the first minute here. And then we'll go into a little bit of detail, but we won't keep you more than 10 to 15 minutes. So the quick question on this one is, no wet toothbrush. Now, this is certainly just an opinion. There's not research that says one is the best and one is the worst and that type of thing. But there are some certain differences that we'll go over. But my favorite, the one I'm currently using, is a Oral-B spin brush. I like that one for two reasons. It does a little bit of the work for me. Really gets in there and helps me clean up the teeth. And two, it has a timer on it, which sounds, like, hey, that's pretty simple. But I promise you, that 2 minutes of brushing your teeth seems a lot longer than 2 minutes when you're doing something fun. So it typically feels a little bit longer than you expect. So it kind of holds you accountable and really makes you brush for that full 2 minutes to get everything taken care of. Mouthwash-wise, I like something that doesn't burn, no alcohol in it. I typically use ACT, A-C-T. Has a little bit of fluoride, really helps remineralize things. So that's one that I use. Not saying that others aren't good. We'll go over a couple different other brands and different modalities of how they work. But in terms of that ACT, in terms of toothpaste, same thing. No big one way or another. There are some controversies now of what's in toothpaste, what's in natural toothpaste, that type of stuff. So we'll go a little bit in depth with that. But for right now, I use Sensodyne. So ACT, Sensodyne, Oral-B spin brush. Do they whiten your teeth? Kind of. They have some natural abrasions in there. They do have some peroxides. They do have some carbamide peroxides, that type of thing, that do break down those carbon bonds and make your teeth whiter. The problem is the contact time on tooth. So it's only about either 30 seconds to 2 minutes. You're going to have mouthwash in or toothpaste in there, and it's just not quite long enough to go from brown-looking teeth to white-looking teeth because you used a certain type of toothpaste or a certain type of mouthwash. So does it have the capacity to do it? Sure. Are some other things better? Absolutely. So there's the rundown on that. Real quick synopsis. We'll get into a little bit of the detail here. In terms of toothbrushes, the manual is old school, still works great. We obviously recommend a soft bristle. You don't want to get those really hard toothbrushes with the hard bristles on there. It can cause abrasions, just not as good for your tissue. Again, we do not want to brush hard. It's very simple to get the plaque off your teeth, nice circular motions, really getting in each surface of that tooth is what really matters. So if you can use the manual toothbrush really well and you're having great technique and you maybe set a timer for yourself, or maybe you just know what 2 minutes is, know how to monitor that time, unlike myself, then manual toothbrush, nothing wrong with it. Keep your teeth as healthy as anything else. But it does have those small downfalls. You have to do most of the work. You have to concentrate on making sure that you're getting up in, the different motions to get up into some of the crevices. So in terms of ease, it might be a little bit more difficult. When we come to the electric toothbrushes, obviously a lot of different range there. I mentioned that I use the Sonicare. It has a circular head. It's kind of feels like when you're getting your teeth polished. I like that one, again, because it's doing the work for me. It has nice vibration, but it's not out of control. With some of the Sonicares, I've also used those. Those do a great job, knock a lot of abrasion off, really help keep those teeth clean. But sometimes just a little bit too intense for my liking. So both those do really well in terms of the electric toothbrushes. And I would say the advantage there is doing the work for you, making sure you're getting up in the places you need to be, and that timing situation. You could easily use your phone for the manual, but just people don't do it. So That's why we like those spin brushes. You can also get cheaper spin brushes. Again, it's all about getting all the surfaces clean that you need to and doing it consistently. So in terms of toothbrushing, there's also, with manuals, there's also now it's getting kind of popular, a bamboo. It has a bamboo handle and a more natural bristles that, are a little bit harsher in my opinion when I've used them, but there's no plastics in it. So if you're really worried about plastics and what you're having in that product, which people are getting a lot more enlightened to, it might be something to investigate, the bamboo toothbrushes. That leads us to the more fun stuff, the mouthwash and the toothpaste. Are these things really whitening your teeth? Is there a big difference? Are they helping out? What's the deal? So with mouthwash, I like to look at it this way. It is a great product. I have it myself. I use it. It's obviously after the brushing and the flossing and everything. So it's like an add-on. So, maybe you get away with it one time. If you're in a huge hurry, you knock back some mouthwash to get it out there just so you're, not too bad. But overall, that's not going to last very long. It's going to need to be on top of everything else. So the difference is I used to use Listerine because you'd use Listerine, you get it in there, and it just burns like crazy. Using it for 30 seconds, and then when it burns, you're like, man, that must be killing the bacteria. I can feel it. And it is. It is a good product for that. The way I look at it, though, is your oral bacteria, there's some good ones too. So do we really want to feel that burn sensation and knowing that we're killing just everything in there? Probably not. We want those good bacteria helping us with the bad bacteria. So what I did is found something with an alcohol-free. So there's a couple different ones. It's actually a dentist-made one that's really good. I'll put in the show notes. But no alcohol, maybe a little bit of fluoride in there to help remineralize any kind of situation you have. But what these do is you really, swish for 30 seconds. I think some of them recommend up to 2 minutes. Swishing for 2 minutes is, again, like brushing, a very long time. So it might be something you want to time. But with those non-alcoholic ones, they are, doing the job. They're getting rid of the bacteria that you don't want that maybe cause bad breath. But again, most of that you're getting done with when you're flossing and brushing. So this is more of a freshen up type thing. So we don't necessarily want to go in there with a big alcohol product that's just killing everything, So those are some good byproducts. Again, I recommend ACT, A-C-T. I have no affiliation with the brand. I get nothing from this. It's just the one I personally use. I think the one that was made by the dentist is TheraBreath. Again, I'll confirm that in the show notes, but it was made by a dentist. He was a bacteriologist and dentist, so kind of a good combination if you're going to have a dentist make a mouthwash that's going to kill bacteria. It's nice that he has that background. And that's a really good one. So, the ones also, the big question is, are these going to whiten your teeth? The Crest ones that say, hey, use this mouthwash, 30 seconds, 2 minutes. Are we going to really get any whitening? Probably not. It's nice to hear. It's nice to have on the package. But the way that whitening works in a really, really short explanation is it has carbon monoperoxide or hydrogen peroxide, one of these peroxides that oxidate water molecules, so you get some oxygen going out that breaks up carbon bonds. These carbon bonds are really long. Those are the ones that are the staining in the enamel. So you have your white enamel, stains, coffee, food, whatever is coming in, making these larger chains. And then as they oxidize, they get cut down. As the light comes on these smaller ones, you see more of that white view. So essentially it's a quick oxidation process. The issue is the time on the tooth. So if you're doing it, brushing your teeth for 30 seconds, if you're doing mouthwash for 30 seconds, then you're not going to have much time on contact. Where if you're doing professional whitening or you have some light enhancements and you're doing it for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, there's some where you can sleep overnight in them, where it's really penetrating and really letting that oxidation process happen, and you get a better result and you get a longer result. So some of these real quick whitenings, they can be good for right then. So you'll have nice white teeth for a week, but but then they'll rehydrate and they might come back. The deeper it gets in there, so sometimes the gels and that type of thing can be better last longing, where the in-house stuff can give you a quick result, which sometimes you want. So long story short there, the toothpaste and the mouthwash whitening, I'm not saying it's a scam. They definitely have the possibility to do it, but you're just not going to be able to use that product long enough to see the result that you think you're going to see. So good product to use. Go ahead and use it as long as you're brushing and flossing and then using that product afterwards. No harm, no foul. But if you really want some whitening that's going to really make a difference, talk to your dental provider, talk to your orthodontist. We do it in-house. We have a lot of people, once they get their braces off, boom, we can get them right into some whitening. So to wrap things up, won't keep you much longer. It's just a question that we get a lot. One, what toothbrush do we recommend? I always jokingly say the one that you'll use, but in reality, one that you'll use efficiently. So that's why we recommend a nice spin brush. An electric brush does a little bit of the work for you, gets in those crevices, times it out, make sure you're doing it enough. Toothpaste, again, in terms of the ingredients, if you want to go a little bit more natural, you have some of the more natural toothpastes like the Tom's. Crest is going to be fine. Just make sure you're rinsing out well. And the whitening, not really going to help you out that much. Mouthwashes, I'd stay away from those that burn. So stay towards more of the alcohol-free. And if you do see some whitening, again, they're not going to hurt, but don't bank on that. Don't just say, I can't believe my teeth aren't getting whiter. Go ahead and talk to your dentist about it. Talk to a dental professional, and they'll guide you in the right way and get things going. But I'll wrap that up. If there's any questions about it, hit some comments. We will be with you next week with another topic. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to the Smiles Ahead podcast, powered by Burrow Welchel Culp Orthodontics. Be sure to leave a rating, hit that subscribe button, and if you have more questions, you can reach out to me directly at sam@bwcortho.com. That's sam@bwcortho.com. You can also visit our website, bwcortho.com, and we will be happy to answer any questions you might have.